Welcome everyone to the next part of my Blu-ray collection video. This one might have a little bit more noise because I have the air conditioner on in the background. So I'm going to start off with these Funkos. This is Laura Palmer from Twin Peaks, Audrey from Twin Peaks, and Agent Dale Cooper from Twin Peaks. As you can tell, I'm a huge Twin Peaks fan, and David Lynch fan. So it's my favorite show of all time, for sure. As you can see, I have the Twin Peaks entire mystery box set. Fantastic show. Absolutely love it. This is a great box set. So glad to own it. Let's just move these things out of the way up here. And then I believe that one comes with Fire Walk With Me, but I did get Fire Walk With Me on Criterion as well. I think the one over here has the missing pieces from the Twin Peaks show, but you know, this is a very nice Criterion to have. And then the Showtime revival of the, I guess you would call it the third season of Twin Peaks, which I also absolutely loved. Absolutely amazing stuff. Blue Velvet, David Lynch film with Kyle MacLachlan as well, and Laura Dern. Amazing film. I had a regular Blu-ray of this, but as soon as it came out on Criterion, I upgraded. Love this film. So rewatchable. David Lynch is just, he's the man. Another David Lynch right here. The Elephant Man. Another great film. This one is more digestible, as in it's like easier to follow than some of his other films. Great film though. And then we have another one, another two from, this should have just been a David Lynch role, but I guess not. This is Suspiria, Dario Argento's Suspiria, and Phenomena, two of my favorite horror films of all time. And I just want to show you the steelbook that comes with it. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I forgot which studio released these. Synapse Films. And then this one as well. Look at that, beautiful. Love both films. Suspiria technically I guess is better than Phenomena, but I really like Phenomena as well. Those films are amazing to me. Alright, so we're gonna start with the top row here. Let me just pull this out. Hopefully nothing falls. Alright, so we're gonna start with Paramount Pictures' Mommy Dearest. This one just came out pretty recently. As you can see, it has the Paramount slip. Great film. Second time I've watched it. Crazy story. It's about Joan Crawford and how she was as a mother. Really interesting one, that one. One of my favorite space/sci-fi films of all time. Sam Rockwell, incredible talent. He's fantastic in this film, and I know a lot of people haven't really checked this one out. An amazing concept, fantastic score on this one. Oh man, I really like this film. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. It's one of my personal 10 out of 10s. Mortal Kombat 2 film collection. So I had the triple pack with this, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and then Legacy, but I didn't really like Legacy, so I gave that away for the Steelbook. I don't think this is 4K. I think it's just standard Blu-ray. Guilty pleasures of mine. Mortal Kombat is better than Annihilation. Annihilation is just pretty bad, but rewatchable for nostalgic purposes. I did like the new one that came out on HBO Max. It wasn't as good as I think it could have been, but it was still fun. With those Mortal Kombat films, the important thing is the fun. A Most Violent Year. Really good drama film with Jessica Chastain and Oscar Isaac. Kind of slipped under the radar, but I think it's a really great film with great performances and a good story to go with it. Darren Aronofsky's Mother. I know a lot of people are very mixed on this. If you kind of know what's going on and what to expect, I think it's a pretty brilliant film. Well performed. You know, it relates to the Bible. Really good film with great imagery. I like that one. I know a lot of people don't like that one. Next we have the Mothra Steelbook. Got this as for very cheap, used, but it came with that nice slip. Pretty decent monster film. You know, it's not anything amazing or anything like that, but not a bad film to own, especially being that it's a nice Steelbook and it was cheap. Moulin Rouge and Romeo plus Juliet. This is the Baz Luhrmann version. I like both of these films. They're pretty good. Moulin Rouge I think I like better, but Romeo plus Juliet also has things. It's like a modern day telling of Shakespeare in like 1996 or whatever year it came out, but that's also a good film. A classic, Mrs. Doubtfire, one from the childhood, Robin Williams. I mean, everyone knows about this film. My Bloody Valentine 3D. I contemplated getting like the new Scream Factory steelbook of the original one, but I don't remember if I like the original one so much. I do like this one though. I saw it in the cinemas, thought it was a pretty good film, kind of like it's like kind of like a B movie, but very interesting, good bloody fun. Here is my favorite film of all time, Mulholland Drive. So I have two versions of this. First, you know, I love this film. I first saw it in a film class, and I absolutely hated it. And then I rewatched it, loved it, and then ever since then, you know, every time I've watched it, I find new things to like about it. Amazing film by David Lynch, my favorite director of all time. So when I went to England, I found this beautiful Blu-ray copy of this. However, this is region 2, so I was like, you know what, this is just the way it looks is so nice. I'm gonna get it. Bought it, couldn't watch it, and then like a month later they announced on Criterion that they're gonna release Mulholland Drive. So then I picked that up as well, because now I have it to watch as well. But you know, I'm not getting rid of that. I really like the Studio Canal release of that one as well. Amazing film, my favorite film of all time. And then this is Mulan, the 2020 live action, which I liked. I know a lot of people like the animated one better, and that's fine. I thought this was okay for, you know, what it did. All right, let me just move these out of the way, and then we'll start the next row. Okay, so first one up is the Mummy Ultimate Collection. So this comes with Mummy 1, 2, and 3, and Scorpion King as well. Mummy 1, tons of fun. Mummy Returns, not as good, but still pretty good. Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, I can't really get into. And then Scorpion King is good fun. Nice little short action film with The Rock in his early days. Then we have My Cousin Vinny. Amazing comedy. I think it's just hilarious all the way through. I have so much fun with this film. So many quotable lines. Joe Pesci's fantastic in this. Really great film. Still holds up pretty well. One of my favorite Studio Ghibli films, My Neighbor Totoro, from Hayao Miyazaki. This one is just feel good all around. Incredible animation, great simple story. Love it. Naked Gun trilogy. I think his name is Leslie Nielsen, right? I really liked his comedies at the time, where it was like, especially like in Airplane, where it's like spoof kind of humor. I think it works when it's done right, and these films are pretty good. I think one is the best, but they're kind of interchangeably fun. O.J. Simpson is in those as well, which is pretty weird. Naked Lunch, picked that one up pretty recently. This is a David Cronenberg film, very surreal experience. But a good film. He's well known for his body horror, and this is just up there with them. Napoleon Dynamite, pretty good comedy, kind of in a cult classic status because of its pretty weird. John Heder was like star when it came out. I don't know what he's doing nowadays, but not a bad one to own right there. And then we have the National Treasure, both of them. Book of Secrets and National Treasure 1. I think Book of Secrets, I like both quite a bit. Good family friendly fun. One is better though. And then we have one of my other favorite films of all time, possibly my second favorite film of all time, The Neon Demon by Nicholas Winding Refn. I absolutely love this film. I was so hyped for it. You know, I love Elle Fanning. I love Nicholas Winding Refn. Everything about this film just blew me away. The style, the story, the pace, everything. The visuals of it. I think Nicholas Winding Refn is a brilliant director. Only thing is, I wish they released a better version in the US of this, because you know, I could have used like a nice steelbook, digibook, whatever kind of packaging. I would get it, but this is just a very standard one without a slipcover, which is a shame because I really love this film. Nerve, a nice little teen film that, you know, uses technology as kind of its basis, like social media and stuff like that, getting likes. Emma Roberts is pretty good in this as well. Nice film, nice it's like neon, everything in that film. Network. I really like these I think I said before that these news drama type films, and this is a really great one. Amazing film from start to finish. Peter Finch was fantastic in it, and then I think he passed away very close to when this film was released, like before or after, but this is a crazy good film. Another one that I saw at the at an independent theater, this is a foreign film, I believe it's like a German film, called Never Look Away. It is a long film, but it's absolutely amazing, and I think it should have won Academy Awards in the foreign language category. Absolutely amazing film, long film, but a wonderful story, just delivered in like a stupendous way. This is, I can't praise this film enough. So when it came out on Blu-ray, I was over the moon. I love it. Another one I really love, Never Going Back. I don't know if a lot of people know about this one. This is a custom made version. Great film. Really like this. The two leads are great in it. Very chill, laid back type of film. Very funny as well, this one. Alright, so I'm gonna do the next row from the top right now. I apologize for the time it takes to bring these down. My only Lucio Fulci film is The New York Ripper. I saw this recently on when I had a Shudder trial. Pretty good film, pretty violent, you know, pretty explicit as well, but not a bad film. You know, I like representation of New York in film. Kind of like a smut movie here, but good one. One that I really enjoyed and I wouldn't mind a sequel to is The Nice Guys, with Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. This is a Shane Black film. I think it's very well written, very funny, such amazing chemistry, and this film needs more love. I think it's fantastic. So now we have the original Night of the Living Dead, because it was like a remake done later, right? Great film by George A. Romero, the one that kind of started it all in terms of zombie in TV and media. Great film. I had a different copy of this until the Criterion came out, and then I just upgraded. Nightcrawler, fantastic performance by Jake Gyllenhaal. He could have easily won the Oscar in my opinion for this, because he's just amazingly creepy in this film. Really good story as well. Yeah, Nightcrawler, if you haven't seen that one, go for it. Saw this one at an independent theater. This is from the director of The Babadook. The Nightingale, amazing performance. I forgot the name of the actress, but she's so great in this film. It is also a long film, but it's like a good redemption tale. If you haven't seen it, it is pretty rough watch, that one as well. A Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake. So as I mentioned before, I'm a huge Rooney Mara fan, so that's why I have this one. I don't really like it so much. There's not a whole lot in it to appreciate, apart from the fact that Rooney Mara's in it. But yeah, I have it. I do have the full box set. It's coming later in the video, so it's not like I just bought that one and that's it. No Country for Old Men, a classic. Coen Brothers film, probably the best Coen Brothers film. You know, performances all around are fantastic. A lot of people have a problem with the end. I thought it was just fitting. Javier Bardem was absolutely fantastic as the villain in this one. And we have Noah, Darren Aronofsky film. I appreciate the ambitiousness of trying to do this film. It must not have been easy, the subject matter of, you know, capturing something from the Bible like that. But what he had to work with and what he did, I think, was pretty good. And not as rewatchable as, you know, you would want it to be, but that's fine. Nobody, as I mentioned from earlier, the director of Hardcore Henry, I believe, directed this. Amazing film. I'm a huge fan of Bob Odenkirk from Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. I think this is fantastic. This one just starts off one way and then just goes another, and it's like frenetic action. Amazing film. One of the best action films in recent memory. Nocturnal Animals, really good film by a fashion designer, Tom Ford did this one, and it's very well written, very well done. Pretty it's a little open to interpretation, I guess, but a good one right there. the original Nosferatu, the black and white version. It's a classic vampire film. If you're a real film lover, you know, try to get this in your collection. Maybe they should do like a Criterion for this one. Not Another teen movie. Pretty good as far as those like spoof films go, like the scary movies and whatever they were doing. This one's not too bad. Jamie Presley is really hot in this one as well. Nothing Like the Holidays. Nice little like Latino spin on Christmas, and a good one. I enjoyed this film. I think it's pretty funny where it needs to be, and it's serious where it needs to be as well. Got this for the holiday season last year, so that's a good one. All right, so let me just bring these down right now. Sorry that took longer. So this title just fell on the floor. Notorious, Alfred Hitchcock film that doesn't come in the box set. That's why I had to get it. Great film. Deserves this Criterion release. It's what you would expect from Alfred Hitchcock, and this is a great one right there. Here is a severe guilty pleasure of mine, Nurse 3D. A lot of people don't know about this film. It has Paz de la Huerta from Boardwalk Empire, and it's like an erotic horror film where she's like a crazy nurse killing wrongdoers, or people she thinks are wrongdoers. Amazing film. I watch it every October. That's just one. Not a lot of people know about that one, but I think it's amazing. The Nutcracker in the Four Realms. So I got this during like the Best Buy Christmas releases last year. When I first saw this in theaters, I didn't like it at all, and then I gave it another chance, and I think it's okay. The plot is a little complex, I guess. Not complex, but like could have been done better at times, but not a bad film. Visuals are really nice in this. You know, I could see myself watching this like in December. My slipcover is getting a little chewed up there, just sitting there in such a tight space. It sucks. But what are you gonna do when you have so many Blu-rays? Nymphomaniac Volume 1 and Volume 2, extended director's cut from Lars von Trier. I really like this series, and I had to get the extended cut because I think it's much better. It's about like sex addiction. Really great film. I know he's a kind of like a all or nothing kind of director. You either love him or you hate him. Oceans 11, 12, and 13, the trilogy. Oceans 11 I really like. 12 a little too much going on for me, and 13 is a slight return to form, but not as good as 11. 11 is the best one. Oceans 8 I thought was okay. I wouldn't mind getting it, but I just haven't found it like around. It's not something I'm gonna go out of my way to get, so if I find it like cheap or something, I might pick it up, even though it's hard to compare those films because they're very different. Ooh, good horror film, Oculus. I forgot who the director of this was, but I'm sure he went on to do better things. Mike Flanagan, I believe, yes. Great film. Karen Gillan, I think is how you say her name, is in it. Really interesting story. The scares are pretty good in this as well. I really like this film. Office Space, a classic from Mike Judge. Very quotable, very memorable. Yeah, if you've worked in an office, this one's a must-watch. I picked up this steelbook in England, used, so it's pretty cheap. Amazing film, Old Boy. This is the South Korean version of the film. Just an amazing action film, great story, great little twist. That is one I enjoy and watch whenever I can. And then the sequel, from Spike Lee. I don't mind it so much. It's not as good. It's kind of like straight up, you know, like a remake of Old Boy. It doesn't add a whole lot that's new, but it's fine. Old School. I didn't find this as funny as I did when I was younger because I rewatched it recently. It's kind of hit or miss. Some good moments, not as memorable as I want it to be. On Chesil Beach, love Saoirse Ronan. I think this is a pretty good film as well. Shot very well, interesting story. A little slow paced, but it's good. I'm a huge fan of her. Once Upon a Time in America, the extended director's cut. This is a Sergio Leone film, probably his last one, if I'm not mistaken. Great film. He was great. He did some great westerns prior with the Man with No Name trilogy, and this is a pretty good film as well. And of course, already a Quentin Tarantino classic, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, an amazing steelbook, fantastic film. Just flies by even though it's long. I think Tarantino nailed it with this one. This is amazing. So let me get these out of the way and then we can go through the titles on this roll. I'm gonna start off with Lost River. This is Ryan Gosling's directorial debut. Amazing film starring Christina Hendricks. Saoirse Ronan's also in that one. I really like the score for this one as well. It's definitely influenced by Nicholas Winding Refn, who Ryan Gosling has worked with. That's a good one. Put that up here. Love Actually, Christmas classic. Different stories, kind of, you know, these types of films, they usually just go to different stories and stuff. All of them are holiday and romance themed. Good film. Love and Other Drugs. I rewatched this recently, and it's funny. He works for Pfizer. We know about Pfizer more now because of the COVID vaccine. But a good film, great performances. I think this is from the director of The Last Samurai as well. Love in the Afternoon, a Billy Wilder film. I'm a big fan of Billy Wilder's films. This is a pretty good Audrey Hepburn film. Not one of her best ones, but pretty decent, this one. I'm a huge fan of Phantom of the Opera, and we'll get to those a little later, but this is Love Never Dies, which is the sequel to Phantom of the Opera. I found this one used and cheap, so I don't really like this one at all. I didn't like the music. I couldn't really get into it. This is like the stage play, probably from in England, like Royal Albert Hall or something, but this production I don't think was as good. That was a sore disappointment, even though I was like really hyped for that one. Love Story, another one of those Paramount releases. Pretty good, you know, romantic film with a theme that's like very, very memorable. The Love Witch. I love this film. Really visually amazing. The colors pop out so beautifully. Very like erotic nature to it. I wish this was released on a better release, like with a slipcover or something. Someone's got to do something with this film. It's really good. I think my films are out of order here. Lovelace, good film about what's her name? The porn star who did Deep Throat, Linda Lovelace. I mean, her name is right there, right? Linda Lovelace. So yes, not a bad film. Pretty like violent at times. Amanda Seyfried did a good job with that one. Lucy Steelbook. I don't know what that is. Yeah, Lucy Steelbook. Luc Besson film. Probably could have been better, but for what we get, it's not bad at all. The Lure, a foreign film about two mermaids who like become singers. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like it has good horror elements, romantic elements in it as well. Really enjoyable film. Watch this if you haven't. Great Criterion release, I think. This is the M. Night Shyamalan. They call it named after the train that crashes, East Trail 177 trilogy. This is Glass, Split, and Unbreakable. Let's start from the bottom. Unbreakable, love that film. A great superhero film that not a lot of people, you know, consider a superhero film. Like, you wouldn't think about it right away, but that's an amazing one. Split, James McAvoy is fantastic in that. Glass, pretty good. I'm not so disappointed with that one. I know a lot of people are, but I think it, you know, it tied things up pretty well. Roman Polanski's Tragedy of Macbeth. I love Macbeth. It's my favorite Shakespearean play, and I have multiple copies of it as well. I think this one is pretty bare bones, but it does the job pretty well. I like adaptations of this story. And then I have the more artistic version by Justin Kurzel with Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard. I love this one as well. Visually, this one is like superior than the other one, obviously because it came out later, but the score in this one is great as well. Machete, great film. It still has the sticker. Got that one used. Robert Rodriguez. This is from the trailer from Grindhouse, Planet Terror, and I think they did a pretty good job with this one. The sequel, not so much, but you know, I picked it up because I found it at a store. Machete Kills, not as good. I think they were supposed to go to space next, but I don't know if it'll ever happen. I'm gonna give you an unpopular opinion now. I feel like this film, Mad Max Fury Road, is pretty overrated. I know a lot of people hail it as like an action second coming. I thought it was not that entertaining. I don't usually get super entertained by just like relentless action, and this film kind of felt like that to me. I can appreciate what it does. It just wasn't for me, nor are any of the other Mad Max films. I got this pretty cheap on Black Friday and just picked it up. Not something I'd ever watch again, pretty much. The Machinist, really good Christian Bale performance. He's like super skinny in this. Like, you gotta admire his commitment to making a film and doing the work involved. Very twisted story. This is a good film from early Christian Bale. The Beatles Magical Mystery Tour, as I mentioned, I'm a huge Beatles fan. Great soundtrack on this one. It makes a little less sense. This is kind of from the mind of Paul McCartney, but if you're a Beatles fan, you know you're there. You're always there. Magnolia, long film by P.T. Anderson, Paul Thomas Anderson, but a pretty good one. Tom Cruise, pretty memorable in this one. Philip Seymour Hoffman is always great in these PTA films as well. Maleficent, I think this is a 4K Steelbook. I like this film actually. A lot of people I know aren't a huge fan of it. I think they did a good job with this one. The second one, Mistress of Evil, was a little bit boring, more boring than the previous one, but the steelbook's pretty nice, I guess. Then I have Malevolence 2 Bereavement. This has Alexandra Daddario. I know this is a trilogy, but I don't have the first one and I've never seen the first one, but this is a pretty good kind of like modern slasher horror film. And then there was a sequel that I also watched, Malevolence 3 Killer. Not as good. Just wanted to check it out. I don't have the first one and I have not seen the first one. I'm assuming the first one might be the best. The Maltese Falcon, a classic Humphrey Bogart film, neo-noir film. That's a good one. Mamma Mia 2 film collection. I'm a big ABBA fan and I like the interpretations of the songs in this, of their music. Second one, not as good as the first one, but you know, pretty nice, pretty good series, I would say. Good songs, it just looks nice. Here's one I definitely want to talk about. So this is The Man from Earth. Not a lot of people know about this one, but it is fantastic. It's about a man who's lived on the planet for so long and he doesn't age, and then he gathers with a group of friends, tells them, and then he tells them about, they don't believe him at first, and he tells them all about his past. Amazing film. I really love this film. It's like dialogue centric, but the content is like incredible. And then they released a sequel, Man from Earth, Holocene. A lot of people don't like this one and the quality is much more different, so I can understand why people don't like it, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed both of these films and I really hope they do another one. I think the second one was like completely crowdsourced, like people donated and then they made it, so I really hope they can do another one because I really like that series. Man of Steel, this was like the last DCEU film that I got because I was kind of at war with whether I liked it or not, but you know, I rewatched it. It is a pretty good film. You know, Zack Snyder has a vision for making a good film even if the plot isn't always there. Manchester by the Sea, great performances from Casey Affleck, Michelle Williams. He did deserve the Oscar that year. Great screenplay as well, and this kind of introduced Lucas Hedges to us as well. He's in a few things now. Maps to the Stars, a David Cronenberg film, probably his last one, if my memory serves me correctly. Pretty good film. Nice story in this one. Not one of his best, but I'm a fan of him. Sofia Coppola's Marie Antoinette. Love this film. I'm a huge fan of Kirsten Dunst. I had no issues with it. I know a lot of people have criticisms with it, but I think it's fantastic. I think Sofia Coppola is a fantastic filmmaker. Marrowbone, as I mentioned, I'm a huge fan of Anya Taylor-Joy, and this actually has like a cast of people that are really well known now. George McKay, he's in 1917. Charlie Heaton, I believe, is in Stranger Things. Mia Goth is in a few different movies. Great film, kind of predictable, but I enjoyed this one, Marrowbone. Another one I really enjoy with Elizabeth Olsen before she got really big with the MCU, Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene. This is more about like somebody leaving a cult and then the effects of that. good one. Another really good one I enjoy, Mary Magdalene, with Rooney Mara and Joaquin Phoenix. This is from the director of Lion. I know a lot of people, you know, had mixed feelings about this, but I think it's pretty good. Another one I enjoyed, Mary, Queen of Scots, with Saoirse Ronan and Margot Robbie. They really changed up Margot Robbie for this film. But true story about two, I think they're like cousins, and of the kingdom, and then one's like in exile. I kind of forgot what was going on, but really good, enjoyable film, that one. Mary Poppins, the original. This is the 4K. Actually, I don't know if it's a 4K. It might just be a steelbook, Blu-ray steelbook. Pretty good film, classic. And then Mary Poppins Returns. This one is the 4K. Amazing steelbook. I really like the way they blended the animation with the with everything else in this film, and I think it really works. It's a good film. Mary Shelley, biopic about Mary Shelley, the person who wrote Frankenstein, and then just the trouble she went through in her relationships, and then trying to get that book, that story out. Really good film. Elle Fanning is good in this one. I'm a huge fan of her. A great Paul Thomas Anderson, that's up there for me. The master. Amazing performances all around. This film needs more love. I think it's fantastic. A classic from the childhood, Matilda. Great film about a little girl with powers. She can move things around. Very funny. Danny DeVito's great in that one. The Matrix trilogy. I love the first Matrix. Matrix Reloaded I like for nostalgic purposes. As a class we went to go watch it in the cinemas, and I thought it was pretty cool. Revolutions I didn't understand when I first watched it, and that was the only time I ever watched it. But I think if they're coming out with a 4, I'll have to go through all this again. Max Payne. Big fan of the what's it called, the game, but it's been a while. I did watch it and I liked it. It's not a bad film. Definitely could have been better, but you know, they do what they can with it. Me, Earl and the Dying Girl. Amazing film about a friendship and a girl who has, I believe she has cancer, and she's like dying, and then the bonds that they have. Such a emotional, heartfelt film. I think the last like 20 minutes or so of this film is incredible. Watch this. It has what's her name again? Olivia Cook. I think she's in Thoroughbreds as well. She's great. Mean Girls. Love this release in the pink case. I love when Blu-rays do something a little different. Classic Lindsay Lohan film. Everyone knows Mean Girls. Meet the Parents. One of my favorite comedies of all time, just because of the sheer awkwardness you feel for Ben Stiller. Fantastic film. I can watch this so many times. I've seen it so many times. I don't like any of the sequels, like Meet the Fockers, Little Fockers, or anything like that. Okay, so Melancholia. Amazing film from Lars von Trier. I think his best one. Kirsten Dunst is fantastic in this, portraying somebody with depression as the world is about to end. Oh, these are the type of films that I love. And 10 out of 10 from me for that one. Early Christopher Nolan, Memento. A lot of people know about this one, and it's well appreciated. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. Creative story in that one. The Complete Metropolis. Amazing silent film. Like probably like the first, or one of the first sci-fis, one of the most memorable sci-fis of all time, with so much to say, and there's just so much in this film. This is the restored version, so there's a little more footage in that one. Amazing film. Like, that is a release that any filmmaker or not filmmaker, but like any film lover or filmmaker would want in their collection. Michael Mann's Miami Vice. I like it. I rewatched it again recently. Not a bad film. Does what it needs to do. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, one from my childhood and still so rewatchable. Love this film. Brings back so many memories. Yeah. The Miniaturist. So I read this book prior to watching this series, and then it's like a 2-part PBS series. I love the book. I think it's great, and I think this series actually captured so much well, and it has one of my favorites, Anya Taylor-Joy. Really good. I really like these PBS series stuff. I already had Little Woman that I showed earlier. I might have another one somewhere, I'm not sure. Miracle on 34th Street, a classic courtroom drama part of Christmas film, and this is young Natalie Wood, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm sure it is, yes. Great film, classic. Amazing film. I read this book years before watching the movie. I didn't even know there was a movie. Like, I watched it, I read it when I was younger, and I loved it. And then the film captures everything so well. Kathy Bates is just sensational in this film. Amazing, amazing horror film. One of the best Stephen King adaptations you're gonna get. Miss March, picked this one up used. Not a huge fan of it. Some parts are funny, and that's about it. The Mist, another great Stephen King adaptation from Frank Darabont. I know a lot of people don't like the ending of this one. I think it's done well. I think this entire film is done well. The atmosphere, the monsters, everything about it, great. Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times. I don't have anything else from Charlie Chaplin. I'm a fan of him, but just haven't picked up any other Criterions. I wanted to get, I think it's called The Great Dictator. Modern Times is amazing. The best Charlie Chaplin film for me. It's just fantastic stuff. And there's another silent movie that's not Chaplin that I'll show you later that I love even more. Molly's Game. Big fan of Aaron Sorkin's creative writing, like for the screenplays, and then he directed this one as well. It was his directorial debut. I think he did a fantastic job. Jessica Chastain is great in it. I love her as well. And then I also really like Trial of Chicago 7, which he just did recently. So that is this row. We'll carry on as much as we can, and then just finish up these videos soon. Thank you.